Hello and welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we're going to be making this. We're going to make this without having to model anything in Blender at all. We're going to be using an app called Reality Scan, and it's completely free on the iOS store. Prerequisite, of course, is you need an iOS device. So I'm using an iPhone X, which is more than enough to be able to generate what you are seeing in this tutorial. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the App Store and search for Reality Scan and then download it and open it. Once you have opened it, you should see something along these lines. Now, I haven't recorded the section where I'm taking a bunch of photos, but all you need to know is you need to go in circles around your object that you are taking a photo of. Also, just something you need to know is try and, for the first time at least, get something that doesn't have a lot of reflection, just because it's easier for the alignment to actually work. So, once you've captured all of your images, you can view your 3D model, and then you can submit it to Sketchfab. So once you've finished capturing your asset, the first thing you want to do is go to the place that you've uploaded it, and it is called Sketchfab. So I will copy the link in the description. So what you need to do is sign in or sign up, depending whether you have an account or not. You will get 10 free credits. I have 50 for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's some promotion. And you will go to models. Once you are there, you will see your upload that you have created. And this is the first one that I've done. And what I'm able to do is press download. And then I'm going to download the original format. Should go relatively quickly. In the meantime, I'm going to open Blender. I'm going to create a new project, delete the default cube. Okay, so it's finished downloading. I'm going to open up the source directory and copy it to a local file and folder. I'm going to extract both the textures and the FBX model. We are going to go back into Blender, press import FBX, go to the folder that you have saved it. Mine is under videos because that's just where I saved it. It's going to import. And after a couple of seconds, you will see the model that you've created. Cool, the model has loaded in. So the first thing you'll see is your model is probably off center. So we're just going to fix that. First, I'm going to fix the top view. Boom, in the middle there. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap the origin to the geometry so that it's in the middle. From the side view, I'm just going to move it down. And then I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. So you can rotate it 180 degrees by pressing rotate and then just typing in 180. Simple as that. So here we have a model. So what you'll notice is there's a flat piece at the bottom that we just want to get rid of. We will go into object edit mode. So we're just going to delete these vertices at the bottom. Press delete vertices. We still have a couple, and that's because we have to select the X-ray mode. You can do that by Alt-Z as well if you want to do it a little bit quicker. So I've deleted these. Am I happy with the topology here? I think so, yes. You can see there's a little bit of lack of detail here and there, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now the second thing we want to do is we want to just have a look at this model. And the first thing you'll notice is that it's quite, because we're shooting with a low-res camera, you'll see there's quite a bit of lack of detail and bumps. So the first thing I want to do to get a clearer view of what this looks like is I'm going to create a material. So let's create a new material. We'll just call this wallet because I have a wallet material. And then I'm going to open up the shading node here. So if you've worked with this before, this will be quite familiar. So once I've opened up the shading node, I will drag in my textures that I've downloaded earlier, plug in the color there. And now what you should see is the wallet textured with a little bit of bumps, but we're going to fix that right now. Next thing we want to do is drag in our normals. Change, oh, it's already changed to non-color. We're going to add a normal map. Normal map color. There we go. Into the normal. And there we'll get some finer details on like the stitching and so on. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into sculpting. Okay, so once we're in sculpt mode, I'm going to start cleaning this up by selecting the smooth and just smoothing it out a bit. There we go. We can increase the size as well to speed up the process a bit. There we go. We want to have some of the details still, which is why the normals are there. And we're going to just make this a bit smaller so that we can get into the crevices here. Nice, smooth this out at the back. There we go. Okay, there we go, more smoothing out. This can be smoothed out in here. All these sharp edges you can just get rid of. You'll notice there's also no bottom side. I didn't scan the bottom side. If you want to see how to do that, I will post a follow-up video. But for now, I'm just making this so that I can place it flat on a surface. Okay, and we don't worry about all these bits here. This is, what is this, the notch or whatever it's called. And we'll just clean this up, clean this up. So you'll see already the model is starting to look a lot better, a lot smoother. There we go. So I said you don't need modeling experience. This is literally just going into sculpt mode and essentially painting. So if you've got trouble doing that, I'm happy to add links in the description. Cool, so now we have a basic clean shape. Let's see what it looks like. So there we have our wallet. It's looking quite good already. I'm just going to switch the rendering engine to cycles and then GPU compute because that's faster for me. There we go. So there we already have a very decent looking model. Now let's just do some cleaning up here. So I'm just going to go into this mode where we don't have lights and then just clean up the last little bit of stuff. There we go. And you can spend quite a bit of time on this. I'm just doing a basic version. And then I'm just gonna like add a little bit of detail here. So one thing is you can't read topo just because of the UV maps. But I mean, that's not the end of the world. We still have a really good looking model. Okay, cool. So the next thing is we're just gonna set this up for our beauty shot. Okay. There we go, high quality. We're going to add a plane. Fantastic. There we already have a nice looking shot. Okay, we are going to select the camera. A nice little trick with the camera is you can control it almost like you're in a game engine by clicking this camera to viewport. So pressing N, view that. And then here we have, let's just move this back a bit. Y, not delete, Y, there we go. And then we're just going to move in a bit like that. Okay, let's just rotate this a bit on the, is it the Y? Nope, the Z axis, always get them confused. And then maybe just move it down a bit so that it actually sits on the floor. Okay, so there we have it. I'm just going to move my light. Just going to click this so that I don't change the camera. Where's my light? So I want it a little bit down. See what that looks like, even a bit more, so that I get some nice shadows from the side. And on the x-axis maybe a little bit more. There we go. Some nice shadows. Now you'll see that the shadows are quite hard. So that's because the radius of the light is quite narrow. So the way that we can fix that is clicking on this light here and then just changing the radius to something like, I would say 2. Let's see what that looks like. There we've got softer shadows. Let's try 5. maybe a little bit too subtle. Okay, I like that. So now what we're going to do is, if you really want to, and that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to add a little bit of a wood texture to the back here just to make it better. If you don't have a wood texture, there's a bunch of places including Polygon where you can download textures. I have a little archive of textures that I've been building up over the last couple of months, and I'm going to just use that. So the first thing I want to do is click here, create a new material. We're going to call it wood. I'm going to go into the shading, and then I'm going to drop in my maps. Okay, my diffuse, my gloss, my normals. We'll hook up the base color here. For our gloss, we are going to set this to non-color. So the thing is, we've got roughness here, so we need to invert this. So we'll just add an invert node. I always forget that you have to click. It's not like Unreal. There we go. Invert that into the roughness. See what that looks like. That looks nice. And then we are going to add a normal map, and we're going to insert it into the color and add that here. Fantastic. And just one last thing, you can do this. It's not absolutely necessary, but I just like doing this, is UV unwrapping it. Going back to modeling, and then we should have a nice looking render. I'm just going to render this out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. I really enjoyed making this video. If you did like it, please like and subscribe. This is a new channel, and it really does help. So have a lovely day and enjoy your modeling.